Rose, and it's my job to make you a vegan expert. Welcome to the knife safety tutorial. If you're going to be a successful vegan, you need to be a success in the kitchen, and you can't be a success in the kitchen unless you really are comfortable with knives. Now, knives are sharp and they're dangerous, and so you have to be very, very careful. And I'm going to give you some ground rules in order to make sure that you keep yourself from any kind of kitchen accidents and you feel comfortable using knives and making food in your kitchen. There are lots and lots of different kinds of knives out there. As you can see, it can be a little overwhelming. These are just some of the knives I have in my kitchen. But if you're new to working in the kitchen, you really only need 3 knives. These are the 3 knives that I use on a regular basis and almost to the exclusion of everything else I have. You don't need to spend a lot of money on your knives. Now this one is the one I use most often. This one is useful for cutting up nearly everything. This is what I would call a paring knife. So if you want to peel a potato by hand, you can use this knife. Or if you have a small job, like you're trying to remove the top of a red pepper, this is also a good choice. This knife is a serrated knife. It has a bumpy edge to it. And this is the perfect knife for cutting up tomatoes. It's perfect because that bumpy edge will saw right through a smooth skin. And for a tomato, that's exactly what you need. Let's talk about the knife. It has a tip, it has a heel, and it has a blade and a handle. Tip number 1, when you buy a knife, make sure it has a full tang blade. That means it extends from the tip all the way to the end of the handle. This gives the knife a lot of strength. Many cheaper knives will have a blade and a separate handle, and they'll be joined right here. That is a weak spot, and that could cause breakage. And you don't want your knife to break on you when you're using it. That could be disastrous. Tip number 2 is, what kind of cutting surface do you use? Is there any one cutting board that's better than another? I would just recommend that you get one that's made from a sustainable material. This one is made from bamboo. Bamboo grows really fast, so it's a really good material to make things from. I've had this one for 15 years, so you see it's very durable. When you are using your knife, you always want to make sure that your knife is sharp. That way it will cut through your food very easily. A dull knife causes you to have to really push hard trying to cut through the vegetable, and that's not a safe situation. Your technique is important. I want you to avoid doing this. You do not want to be airborne with a sharp blade. Anchor your tip, rock up and down, and you can combine a rolling motion to cut through the food. Finally, you want to tuck your fingers away from the knife. Let me show you. There we are. Beautiful. When you're done cutting with your knife, I want you to immediately rinse it off and dry it. I'm going to dry it with the edge away from me. I'm going to put it away right away. I never want you to leave your knife on the counter or just maybe on top here. You think it's safe, but if you've got animals in the house, they can sometimes get up on the counter, especially cats. And dogs, some of them like to counter surf. They're just big enough that they can get their front paws up there and they're looking for food. You never want to have a knife in their path because that could really cause them a lot of injury. So always wash, dry, put away your knife. And remember, when you're working with a knife, never be in a hurry. All right, that's it. Good luck. Being good in the kitchen is a combination of practice and good safety. I know that sounds kind of boring, but it's true. So until I talk to you next time, remember, this is Rose saying Be kind to yourself.